David Hogg, the vice chair of the DNC, has been ousted after only being in that position for 3 months. Here's what happened, and then I'm going to tell you why I think it happened and kind of break down the politics happening in the Democrat Party right now. As always, guys, please like this video and subscribe so that one day I can afford a hair transplant. With that, so it all started sometime a couple months ago. This is kind of the story, how it goes. A Democrat activist named Kaylin Free basically submitted a complaint to the Democrat Party saying that the election was done wrong. And I'm talking about the election within the Democrat leadership. Who's going to be the chairman? Who's going to be the vice chairman? And essentially the question was, it was a question of gender quotas. That in the election, women had been discriminated against because in the Democrat Party, there has to be a certain amount of men and women in leadership. It's stupid. And the DNC got this complaint and they did nothing about it for weeks. Fast forward a few weeks, and David Hogg basically comes out. This was big on the news for the last couple weeks. He basically came out. He had a PAC he was working with, and he said, hey, this PAC that has millions and tens of millions of dollars is going to donate to Democrats that are going to primary old establishment Democrats who are not doing it anymore. In other words, he's saying, I'm attacking the establishment in the Democrat Party. A lot of Democrats came out and were pissed about this because they were obviously nervous about losing their seats in Congress or in the Senate, for example. Now, this complaint is suddenly being taken seriously yesterday. So this complaint was put in before David Hogg talked about any of this, and no one said anything. But now they're talking about it. David Hogg today has been removed as the vice chairman of the Democrat Party, of the DNC, and he will have to win it back through another election. That's what's happening right now. Hogg has not been silent on this. This is what he said about kind of all of what's been going on, the drama, him being removed. This is according to Fox News. He said, while this vote was based on how the DNC conducted its officers' elections, which I had nothing to do with, it's also impossible to ignore the broader context of my work to reform the party, which loomed large over this vote. I ran to be the DNC vice chair to help make the Democrat Party better, not to defend an indefensible status quo that has caused voters in almost every demographic group to move away from us. The DNC has pledged to remove me, and this vote has provided an avenue of fast track that effort. So, in a stunning rebuttal, basically, Hogg is basically saying DEI is crap. That's what he says in there. He's saying this is just being used as a thing to get rid of me. He's saying DEI is crap. My goal of getting these kind of why does it have to be women and men equal amount in the Democrat Party? He's saying that's stupid, but he's also saying you're trying to take me out because I'm going after establishment Democrats. Here is a clip of Hogg talking about DEI and how it's stupid on Bill Maher just the other day.
Frankly, I don't even know if it makes sense for us to have the gender balance rule anymore in this day and age because I want to focus on whoever's just best at the job.
Great.
At this point, that's my own view.
Terrific.
So obviously Democrats at large are not going to like that because Democrats at large believe in DEI. They don't believe in the meritocracy like David Hogg does. But I think the Democrat elite is not taking out Hogg because of DEI. They're taking him out ultimately because he's trying to primary them. That is why this is happening. And DEI is just used as the excuse. So now they've taken the complaint seriously. They get him out. And so the real litmus test for Democrats, and I think you're going to see some stunning approval rating switches if this happens, is will they elect Hogg again? Because Hogg has to run again. If they don't elect him, it is going to look so bad. I think Democrat approval right now is at like 17%. It is so low. If you match it up, I'll show you in a second. If you match it up against Republicans, it's underwater. It's under Republicans. And I think if they don't elect Hogg, it will look even worse for him. In less than 1 year, you have to really think about this. Sometimes we forget how much has happened in the last year. In the last year, you had the nominee of the Democrat Party get switched out by his VP against his will and without any say-so from the American people. So that happened. And then now you also have the vice chair of the Democrat Party being taken out because of DEI or the establishment not wanting him in anymore. And I'm sorry, but Democrats don't care about democracy. They just don't. I know it's in their name, but they hate the will of the people. The last year has proved that. Ironically, the Democrat Party is very conservatively aristocratic, meaning that they would rather have kind of the elites run their party in the country rather than the people. I am not a lover of David Hogg. We're the same age. I think he's a garbage person, actually. I think he stands on the graves of his dead classmates from Parkland in order to get famous. I think he's bad, but, and I'm not defending him, but I am attacking Democrats, saying this is so optically bad for Democrats, it's crazy. Like, you would have to think The Democrats saw this and they knew, if we do this, it's going to look really bad. And it is. And it is exhibiting itself in the polls right now. So this poll came out from Echelon Insights, and President Trump has an approval rating at the top. He's at 46%, which is pretty middle of the road. It's not bad. It's not great. Joe Biden was sitting at 36% when he left office. But underneath this is much more important, which is that the GOP is actually above the Democrats right now on the generic ballot. And the reason why I think that's a little bit surprising is because people don't love the tariffs. The economy is perceived to not be doing that great, though a few things have been turned around in the last few days because Trump has come out with some new trade deals. However, really, historically, Democrats should be seeing quite the boost right now. That's what happens when a unified government like the Republican Party goes in. The opposition tends to gain a little bit of steam going into the midterms. And you're not seeing that right now. And the reason why is because even though people don't love some of what Trump is doing with tariffs, the reality is his approval rating is pretty decent. And it's because of stuff like this. It's because Democrats will go down in history, I think, as one of the worst oppositions ever during the second term of Trump. Is because they coup their own. They don't respect the will of the people. And they just do whatever protects the Democrat establishment elite. Hey guys, I'm excited to announce that I am officially rolling out my new Substack. One of my favorite things about this show is interacting with you guys. And so my Substack simply just makes it a little bit easier to bounce political ideas off each other, do live chats and Q&As as well. My Substack also includes my written newsletter, so I can talk to you about the daily news, my opinion, commentary, and you can stay up to date on that. It's completely free to join, comes in your email and requires no download at all. So go check it out right now. The link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, everybody. Please like the video and subscribe as well so other great patriots like yourself can see it. Check in every weekday at 6 p.m. Eastern time live to see the show, or you can check out another video right here.